What happens when one of Hollywood's most unpredictable actors sits down with one of daytime television's most opinionated hosts and everything goes completely off the rails? You're about to witness one of the most explosive confrontations ever caught on live television. A moment so intense it ended with Joy Behar walking off her own show and never coming back. This isn't just another celebrity interview gone wrong. This is the day Charlie Sheen completely dismantled Joy Behar's credibility in front of millions of viewers, exposing her hypocrisy and leaving her so humiliated, she had no choice but to quit on the spot. Make sure to subscribe and let me know in the comments what you think really pushed Joy over the edge. Because what you're about to see will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew about The View. It started like any other Tuesday morning at The View studios in New York. The producers had booked Charlie Sheen for what they expected to be a standard promotional interview for his latest project. Joy Behar, known for her sharp tongue and willingness to challenge guests, was particularly excited about this booking. She had been preparing pointed questions about his past controversies, his public statements, and what she saw as his problematic behavior in Hollywood. What the producers didn't anticipate was that Charlie Sheen had done his homework too. He knew exactly who Joy Behar was, her history of controversial statements, and her pattern of grandstanding during interviews. He came prepared for battle, and Joy had no idea what was coming. As the cameras rolled and the show went live, Joy began with what seemed like a friendly introduction. "We're here with Charlie Sheen, and Charlie, I have to say, you've certainly had quite the journey in Hollywood. Some might say, a rocky one." Charlie smiled that famous grin of his and leaned back in his chair. "Well, Joy, I could say the same about your journey in television. Some might say, hypocritical." The other hosts immediately sensed the tension. Whoopi Goldberg shifted uncomfortably in her seat, while Sarah Haynes looked between the two guests with obvious concern. But Joy, true to form, doubled down. Hypocritical? That's interesting, coming from someone who's had very public struggles with substance abuse and has made some questionable comments about women over the years. Charlie's expression didn't change, but his voice took on that edge that anyone familiar with his interviews would recognize. "You want to talk about questionable comments about women? Should we discuss your comment about how Republican women are just angry because they can't get dates? Or maybe your statement that conservative women don't think for themselves?" Joy's face began to redden slightly, but she pressed on. "Those were political observations, Charlie. There's a difference between political commentary and personal attacks." "Political commentary?" Charlie repeated slowly, as if tasting the words. "Is that what we're calling it now? Because I seem to remember you saying that women who vote Republican are basically voting against their own interests because they're too stupid to know better. Was that political commentary too?" The studio audience had gone completely silent. This wasn't the usual back-and-forth banter that The View was known for. This was something else entirely. Joy looked to her co-hosts for support, but found none. Even Whoopi, usually quick to jump into any controversy, seemed to be staying out of this one. "I think you're taking my words out of context," Joy said, but her voice had lost some of its usual confidence. Charlie leaned forward slightly, his eyes never leaving Joy's face. "Out of context? Joy, I watched the entire segment, multiple times. You spent 15 minutes explaining why women who don't agree with your politics are essentially brainwashed. But when I make a joke about Hollywood culture, suddenly I'm the problem? Your jokes weren't just about Hollywood culture." Joy shot back, her voice rising slightly. "You've made degrading comments about women. You've had public meltdowns. And frankly, your behavior has been erratic at best." "Erratic," Charlie repeated, nodding slowly. "That's rich coming from someone who once screamed at a guest for having different political views, and then claimed you were the victim when people called you out for it. Tell me, Joy, when you were having your very